prices of real estate are going through the roof. And is there any chance that you think it's going to slow down or stop? I hear a lot of people that are telling me all the time how expensive real estate is. You know, they're like, Steve, I can't afford anything. I can't justify the prices. It's much, much more expensive than it was a year ago or 2 years ago or whatever they're predicating it on. And yes, you're right, it is more expensive. And the thing you have to ask yourself is, what are you basing your numbers on? So really, I want you to think about this when you're thinking of buying real estate. Many people will go back a year, 2 years, 5 years, even 10 years. And in their mind, they're saying they don't want to buy anything until the prices actually justify that number back in their history. But the thing is we all know that nothing ever is the same. I mean, everything is more expensive. The cost of living, we have inflation at all-time high. The odds that prices are going to go down anytime soon because of inflation, because of just there's so many people trying to buy prices at what they are today because of the fear of what it could be, it's not going to go down. So one of the questions you have to ask yourself is, yes, you could be making a mistake by buying a property right now. What's the bigger mistake if you don't do anything? What does it cost you for not taking any action? You know, I'm a big believer that yes, you have to take risks and they have to be calculated risks. But I'm also a big believer that you've got to take action at some point. And if the numbers are justifying right now that it makes sense to purchase and move forward, don't base it off of what it could be or what it was 1, 3, 5, 10 years ago. You've got to base it off of what it is now. Now, you have to look forward as well. You've got to look forward and see, okay, what is it going to be moving forward? And do I see a crash, correction, whatever you want to call it? And yes, there is going to be a correction. I firmly believe that the markets are going to adjust. But I think if you look back to when you grew up, I grew up in Los Angeles. When I look back at the prices when I grew up in the 80s and 90s in LA, I know they're never going to go back to that price point again. So for me to say I'm not going to buy anything until I see 1995 prices in Los Angeles, I'm never going to get in the game. And sometimes we do this and we say this as a way of telling ourselves that we really don't want to get in the game. This is just an excuse to justify why we're not buying anything. So yeah, I'm not a big believer in buying a mistake and dealing with it, but I am a big believer in taking action. So if the market doesn't make sense for you here, wherever you're at, then find a new market. You know, it doesn't even have to be in the US. You know, there's many, many places outside of the country that I know people are investing and they're doing very well and the prices are making sense. So just because it doesn't make sense where you are and it's never going to go back to what it was, sometimes you've just got to take action. And the mistake you could be making is not taking any action at all. I talk about this a lot in some of my other videos, so if you haven't seen them, go back and watch them. So again, please remember, take action, make sure it's smart, calculated action, but don't just sit on the sidelines and do nothing, because that's the worst thing you could do. Take action. Part of taking action is subscribing to this channel, liking it, and commenting on this video. We'll talk to you later.